Hey guys, welcome back to another user research interview. My name's Miriam. I'm the founder of Quokka, and I'm super excited today to be chatting with Daniel from the Whisper Company about his experiences in life and mental health. Daniel, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate you being open to having this conversation. I'm really trying to build the best product that I can, and your honest feedback is super important to that process. As you know, we're broadcasting this conversation live so that anyone else who's interested in trying to solve this problem can access our research as well. I try to keep these sessions pretty informal. I'm just trying to learn from you today. I'll ask you a lot of questions, but I'm not testing you, and there are no right or wrong answers. So if that is cool with you, let's get started.
Yeah, of course. Let's get started.
Okay, great. So let's let's tell everyone out there that's listening about you and the Whisper Company, because I think it's really cool what you do.
Oh, thank you. My name is Daniel Machado. I am also from many places. I was born in Germany, but I grew up in Venezuela and here in the United States. And I am the operations manager, the CEO, the chief operations manager for the Whisper Company. It's an application for secure communications. It's out on the Apple Store for anyone right now. That's for the commercial version. And what we're doing is we secure any of your text, your photos, your files, anything that you send is secure, because what happens is that the camera is always looking at your face, making sure that that's you at the end or at the front. So if I send it to you, Miriam, you have the phone. If your face is not in front of it all the time, you can't see the message. If there's another person that pops up behind, then the message obfuscates. Nobody can see them. So it's pretty cool. You can also we have a concept called ownership. So what that means is that you can tell people, hey, I don't want you to share this. So they can't forward it, right? They can't share the document. You're only allowed to do so much with it. So we're really into security and the concept of who owns that piece of information when you're sharing it. So just so you can see kind of what's happening with the phone is that if you see the camera is always looking at your face, it's always on tracking you. So that if you can't see the messages, that's why you can't see my texts.
I haven't texted with you yet, but I'm very interested in this. So you're telling me, can I text with you only if I have the app as well?
So far, yes. We're developing an Android app, and we're developing a web-based app so you can use it in your computer as well. So right now it's free for the general public, and we're looking for medical providers, lawyers, VIPs, people who really keep their information private.
Yes.
The part that we're doing for medical providers is really aligned with what Quokka wants to do, which is be able to provide services in a way that also you feel safe, right? So this is also supposed to be a safe space for people to share, because one of our cases comes from actually a CPA firm, and they got hacked. Their WhatsApp got hacked. And so all of their information was taken from WhatsApp, and they lost customers, they lost money, because they were sharing information through there that is supposed to be safe, because WhatsApp is supposed to be end-to-end encrypted. The way that we are encrypted, it's a lot safer than any application that's out there. Not just because of the PUA, which is we call this technology that's always checking that your face is on there, but also because of the way that it's constructed. So there's so many layers to this, because that's what security is. It's a bunch of layers. And the idea is that I'm not doing anything nefarious, so I don't need it. There's so many people out there that want your information, that what they do is they sit there and they just watch the day that you need to send a social security number, the day that you need to send a wire transfer or an account information. And then you're like, well, I'll just send it now. Nothing's going to happen. The reality is hackers just sit there because they don't want to be found out. It's really hard to just say, yeah, you were hacked. There's so many companies that have been hacked right now, including WhatsApp, Signal, Facebook, you hear it all the time. And usually these hacks, we're told about it months later and not right away, because that hits their stock market, right? It's all about the money. So what we want to do is you save. So that's why we made it free.
Okay.
And for nonprofits. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're terrifying me a little bit. I'm like
No,
freaking
don't be
out. Like, oh my
terrified.
God, I have totally been hacked like 100,000 times for sure. Like, I don't even know what's going on, but
Yeah,
this is great that you guys are building this, and I think that it's very valuable and it's free. So, like, people should check it out for sure.
please do.
Yeah, okay, great. So I'm struggling to understand all of it because of my limited tech stuff, but I know that we're going to be chatting more because we were spending a little bit of time before this interview just kind of chatting along, and we have a lot in common beyond just our interest in anonymous communication tools. And yeah, I just really appreciate you taking time to chat with me today. So I'm trying this new thing with the surveys, everyone, where I have it up on the screen, and that way I don't have to copy and paste the answers. I mean, before I was copying and pasting the questions into the Substack or into the StreamYard, and it was like intense. So then I'm like, well, I should just have them up so that they can see them. It makes so much more sense. And if you're watching this, you can totally take this survey as well if you want to help support what we are building. I'll put that up for just a second.
Well, Miriam, are these surveys 100% internal, so that people feel that they can be as truthful as possible?
Well, we are building in public. The survey is anonymous.
Yeah.
Like, we don't ask you to give us your name, but we certainly are open to, I mean, that we're streaming this on the internet.
Oh yeah,
right
well,
now.
For me, it's fine. We already agreed to this. For anybody else who's listening today.
Right. So are you asking, and it's such a good question, will we share the data from these surveys with the public?
So there's two parts. I think the anonymity part is the most important, that we all concerned about, and then the second part is the data, how you are going to share it with the community. So one, is it anonymous, and then two, how does Quokka share it?
Number one is it is anonymous. You don't have to put in your email. If you put in your email at the end of it, we will add you to our mailing list. We're using Google. It's locked down. As far as I know, Google's pretty secure.
Yeah.
Will I share like the survey results without the emails? Of course, like that. I think that's illegal. So I would not do that.
Yeah.
But would I share the survey results with the public? I think I probably would, because I think that it's important for people to have access to this information so that they can build. Okay, this is what I would do, which I have already done, to be honest. I have offered the research to anyone who is building a mental health startup or trying to solve the problem of mental health or trying to help people who have mental health or depression or just anything like that. If you feel like this research would be helpful to you, I'm happy to share it. I don't think that's illegal.
No, I don't think so. You have consent. Yeah.
I do consent. I mean, I don't know. Like, what? I don't know if I have consent. It's definitely not written in here at the top of it. Maybe I should put that. That's great feedback.
Oh, well, I think this is awesome work you're doing. So I think that you're all coming up with an open mind to do all this. So,
all right. I'm still going to put that as feedback. We're changing a lot of this survey because we've gotten a lot of feedback on it. So you know how it goes when building stuff.
Oh, yeah. Some stuff has been in the builds for over 3 years, and Still getting built. Let's just say that.
Always building.
All
Okay,
right.
well, how would you rate your mental health on a scale from 0 to 10?
Oh wow, that's always I know this is supposed to be a short answer, like yes, 10 or 5 or 6 or whatever. But I always think about, so is it in comparison to how I feel or what functionality is? So, psychologists usually like say, well, if you're functional, you're good. But let's say how I feel like I'm at 4 or a 5 from day to day in
Okay.
reality.
Yeah.
Am I functional? Definitely functional.
Right. You're going about it. Okay. And how does the response to the previous question make you feel on a scale from 0 to 10?
Oh wow. I mean, it's. I think the question is always. It's not angry. I'm okay, but it's more about anxiety, right? I'm sharing something so personal. I'm already opening up to all these people in front of here, and it's more about being anxious than being angry or anything, right? So I'm thinking about how does that question make me feel personally, but not how does that make me feel in terms of how's my life going, right? That's the first thing
Yeah.
that comes to mind. How's my life going? I think that I'm very grateful for many things. So I'm about an 8 for that.
Okay. So,
And anxiety wise, oh, I feel super
okay.
anxious. So, if I was anxiety at 1 to 10, I would rate it like a 7 or a 6.
So, knowing that you're rating your mental health at a 4
Yeah.
makes you feel like an 8.
Oh, so that's the connection. Not great with tests.
No, it's not a test. I'm so sorry. And I probably
No.
am not the best at writing these questions so that they're easily understandable, to be honest with you. Like, that's one of the feedbacks that I have is like, I probably need to run this by like a professional, like survey maker or something.
I mean, I think it's always going to be an uphill battle with anything that's written because it becomes concrete. And so, however we understand it is the way that we process it, which is a problem for any kind of test. So if you're telling me that I feel a 4,
true.
how do I feel about everything? I feel like I feel a 4. That would be it. Like I
Okay.
feel like I wish I was feeling better about everything, and I had certain aspects about myself a lot more. I don't know. And this is something else. As a person, as a human being, my grandmother always says, each person's their own world or their own universe, and I think we are, right? So as you look outside, you think, oh, but they're doing better, and they're doing better, and they don't have these issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily a
Mm-hmm.
truth, and I know that consciously. But how do you feel, right? That's different. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not as great, like mentally, health wise, as I would like to be, right?
I feel you. I feel you. And we could go off on a whole tangent.
Oh yeah,
Um,
another time.
but we already literally chatted. If just so you guys know, me and Daniel were like talking about everything from like Venezuela immigration and like to his family before this call. We were a little late on our broadcasting time, and I do apologize if you were waiting for us to get started. Okay. What aspects of your life are negatively impacted when you have felt less than great mentally? You can select as many of these as you want.
Oh, so I would say eating habits, sleep. Um, it's so hard. Like social life, yes. But now that we're doing COVID, it's like everybody's social life is impacted right now. Employment, I would say more about how I feel that so I would say yes, but I'm self-employed. So what I say is how effective do I feel I am, right, with what I do. And I think that has to do more with confidence. So it's a tie into confidence in my work because of my mental state at the time. So it's not like, am I
Right.
really being worse at my job? It's like, no, you're not technically being worse. Probably. I mean, let's say looking at it, how much work am I putting in and how effective am I being? I think I'm being just as effective, but the confidence is so much down, right? So then you
Let
feel
me,
like you're not doing such a great job.
how long, you're the founder of the Whisper Company as well as the operations,
Yes, I'm one of the founders.
one of the founders. How long have you been an entrepreneur, like startup,
Ooh.
solo, whatever?
So not, I mean, I don't think as long as, so many people out there, but I've been one since 2015. I started my
Okay,
first company in 2015.
nice. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Well,
It's just
I
riddled
know
with
it's
monsters.
cliche, but it's a journey. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what
like,
I mean?
yeah,
It's a journey.
it's
But
like
it really is.
so
Oh
many
my,
books have been written that like I think it's called the hero's journey and whatever. There's so many things that talk about so
I
many,
know,
you know,
I know. So many things. Oh my
family,
gosh.
friendships, everything gets, it's just different from that time on. Everything becomes different.
Mm-hmm. Which, any of these have a positive effect on your mental health?
Oh, so wow. So family has a positive effect to an extent.
Right.
And I will say this, and it's because your family, they are my biggest support group. But certain family members can be the biggest downers in your life as well. And it's a cultural thing. I mean, um, it has to do, yes, with Venezuela culture, with also with your micro part, your subset, your team, your family, how they work, how things get resolved, and what they think is best. And there's a lot of, I'll tell you the worst way possible because I'll make you stronger, and that's the worst thing to do to a human being is just put them down because you think that's going to make them stronger. That doesn't. That just erodes at you. You're like a rock. You're born. I think people are born, beautiful from a point of view. They're just, and then we start putting all the stuff on them, and you think that this making them stronger, but in reality, what's doing is that's chipping away at them. But I am super grateful that I have, most of them in my circle are very supportive and
Yeah.
they feed the best, right? So I have to put them as positive. Friendships, they're positive effects as well. Work, to an extent, is negative effect on me, but it's because of the amount of work, right? It's not because the work is bad or even because the atmosphere is bad. It's more the amount of work that we have to do as entrepreneurs. It just chips away at you. It does. And sometimes you have to stop and breathe in, live in the moment and say, look, I'm here. I'm not, this is us here. I'm with my wife or I'm just sitting outside looking at the grass, right? And living here, like just take a moment. And it's hard because you have so many things you have to do. Volunteering, giving back, that's definitely a positive effect. And I can't see the last one. It says romantic relationships. Yeah, that's a positive effect with me. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but for me,
Yeah.
my relationship with my wife is a positive one.
What about social media and the news? Are those no
Oh,
effect?
so I like to read a lot of news because I like to stay up with what's happening, and I think it's important that we know what's happening in our world. But it's a negative effect after you see so much things happening that those affect me. I
Mm-hmm.
know that those affect me. I'm not apathetic to it, and it's hard for me to um, disassociate from what's happening or put a wall because maybe it's happening to people that even if you don't know, they're like your family and they look like you, or or things are happening, right? And some of these things are happening or have happened to my family, so, or your loved ones, my friends, right? So then you project your emotions into this, and you just feel it a lot more, right? Which is a good thing because you become more empathic. I think it's at least from my point of view, I say, it's negative, and at the same time, at least it makes me human because I care, right? But it has its big downsides. It does affect me. I have to stop. I have to tell myself, put it down. Don't look at it anymore. It's going to be the same thing. Just don't do it. Instead of
Totally.
doing it every day, put it down. So the news and social media, definitely a negative effect.
Okay. Which has the most positive effect on your mental health?
I think it's a hard one. But I think it would be I think family right now is what gives me most of my strength, for the most part. Yeah.
How many hours a week do you spend engaging with your family?
Oh, so we don't all live together, but we kind of do. So 'cause we call each other almost every day. So
Okay.
that's good for
Yeah.
everybody.
Engaging, just engaging in family activities, whether it's calling or
So,
spending time, writing them letters,
so
social media,
yeah, I
whatever.
would say, at least 6 hours because, at the end of the day, either my mom calls me, my dad calls me, or I call them, or I talk to her, I text with my brother, or um, I talk with my wife. I mean, every day we take. That's the other thing. Like my wife is my family, and her family is my family. So whenever we
Right.
talk, it's at least 6 hours. But I don't have
Per
a
week.
clock. Yeah, I don't have a clock. So
Okay.
maybe it's 12. I mean, if you put it like if you start thinking about it, because yeah, let's put 12. It's more of an actual number, I think. If you put it throughout the whole week, it's at least that, right?
Right. So out of 168 hours, 12.
Yeah, right? That's crazy.
I
That's
know.
not much.
It's crazy. It's crazy out here on these streets how we act.
That's what you think. And then that makes me think, so what are your priorities, right? Like,
Listen,
what am I doing with all my time, right? That makes you think, though,
I'm
right?
not trying to question you or anything.
No,
I'm
no.
just trying to get to the bottom of this situation here that we've got on our hands where there's a mental health. People don't feel safe out here.
Yeah, no, but totally, this is really good because it makes you think, right? How much time am I actually spending? Like, I'm putting 12, but do I know? Like, do I really know? And that makes you also think, because I don't know, how much in the actual moment am I? Right? I
See?
feel like, I'm getting all this stuff from it because I'm getting every day I get a call. How much time do I spend on them? I don't know. I don't really know. Or
I
I talk,
know.
right?
I
It's
know.
anyway,
I mean, I know,
anyway,
but I
anyway.
don't know.
Well, yeah, I know. I don't want to. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go.
Okay. How or what do you do to help support or manage your mental health?
So I do take time to meditate in the morning and at night, and that really helps me. I see a difference in my mood and my just in my whole well-being. I feel different, and it allows me to sleep better as well.
Okay. And do you use any applications or websites to help you support your mental health or
No,
manage?
and the reason is everything that I do is in technology. So it could become an excuse for me, or I could get an email or a text, and so then I will become distracted and think I need to answer this now. Right? which is also a personal thing. It's just how you manage things. But for me, it's just easier to not have to do with that when I'm taking time for myself to meditate or just think. Sorry, man.
And can you tell me about a time you felt mentally unhealthy or imbalanced?
Oh, yeah. Trying to think. So throughout my life, I've gone through a lot of up and downs, and it has to do with many things in my life. So one is I have a very bad allergy. It's a condition that sometimes is debilitating. I have what is called atopic dermatitis, but I have a very severe version of it, where I have a lot of pain and I can't move, and maybe even talking becomes painful because it's all my skin hurts in my body, and then it peels off. It's just very painful. And so that's always been part of something that's gnawing at me, right? That's impacted through my life, and then events such as losing my aunt, or the situations in Venezuela. For example, my cousins at the time. Well, he was the father of her son, and he was killed by the police. There was too many things happening at once, and that really got to me. I was in a job that I was putting more than 12 hours a day. I wasn't sleeping, and I became very very anxious, extremely anxious, and to a point where functioning did become hard. I mean, to everybody, there's something that people talk about is you hide your true self in front of everybody. And I think that happens a lot too with entrepreneurs. And it's because we have to look our best self in front of everybody. You're always selling something, right? You're always putting the best of whatever it is because you want them to connect with the product and so on. And it doesn't mean that part of you isn't part of you. It's just that it doesn't allow everything else through. Sometimes that is a big issue when there's a lot of problems in your life that really impact you. Like, my aunt had cancer, and she had gone through a very horrible breakup, and we think that's, they just found the cancer, and she died very suddenly. It was just, it was a very hard time. Just that part, right?
Yeah.
Without putting in your day to day and pitfalls at work, or maybe I was very isolated because of work, so I didn't have time to meet or do things, and I was in a new place. I was living alone, and I had, they say that deaths and moving are very hard changes for people, and it was very hard for me because what you do is, well, at least from my point of view, is your whole support group just gets transferred. And my family was not living in the U.S. at the time; they were in Canada, and I couldn't talk to them like I do now, which is a lot more often. And so it becomes harder, right? And the people that really pulled me through or helped me through were my friends at that time. I remember one time I had a crisis in my apartment, and my friend came over with at the time, his girlfriend, and took me to get my medicine because I couldn't drive. And my skin was just in a horrible state. and it was Valentine's Day, and he came with his girlfriend to come and get me, and I will always remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those are what did that cost to me? I I think I was depressed to an extent, but the most powerful thing that I felt was anxiety, just an overwhelming anxiety, and I think that that was also a sense of, because of all these things happening in your life, you think, oh well, my family is not safe, and I am not safe, right? There were
Mm-hmm.
all these political upheavals happening in Venezuela. My grandmother had died as well the year before because she couldn't find the medicine in time because she had a heart attack, and they have to put this medicine
Yeah.
injection. You have to go outside of the hospital to go get it, and because there was a shortage. There's a shortage of everything in Venezuela.
Right.
My
I
cousin couldn't
remember
find it
that.
in time, and yeah, she passed away. Just it's just and that's I'm
That was
just
a lot.
yeah, that was a lot. That's a lot.
I know. I feel you. And you are not alone in that. Like, the stuff that we're seeing in these interviews is really, you're not alone. I want you to know that.
Oh, thank you.
Venezuela. Okay, there we go. Thank you for sharing. I feel like you answered this, kind of went into this.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah.
uh-huh.
But I think it's good that you include it because depending on how we think, we might not include it, right?
Right. And then when people are filling it out, they're writing it, they're not talking with someone. It's a lot different. They have to be
Yeah.
pulled into telling the story. And then your friend was there for you.
Oh yeah, that time, yeah.
Hmm. Well, how often do you speak to your friends? Often,
Well,
sometimes, rarely.
well, this is. I mean, I could put that I talk more to my family and friends, but
Hmm.
the reality is that even though we do have a lot of texts, they're very superficial. So I don't include that in. It's more about if I feel like it was quality time. So we have a Facebook group, right? A Facebook messaging group. And what do we talk about? Like maybe memes or something, or they're talking about something else. And it's not really we're not talking to each other like we would if we were sitting next to each other, right? It's just
Hmm.
maybe we're sharing a news or something, right? And
Hmm.
then my family has another group that's a WhatsApp group, and I think many immigrants do. Um, and today is my cousin's birthday, right? For example, and they put happy birthday. But am I
Yeah.
talking to my cousin? I'm not
Right.
talking to my cousin, right? I'm just
So,
putting happy birthday to her.
do
So
you
it's very
think
superficial.
maybe it's not like the deeper conversations, but you do speak to them sometimes?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Okay. And
it's
it's
like what?
texting mostly,
So
or
texting is yeah, it's number one with friends.
what support do you need that you're not receiving to help manage your mental health? Is it like deeper conversations with these people or with other people?
So I think it's so I've thought about this a lot. I filled out your survey before, just so you
You
know.
did?
Yeah,
Oh no, now we're gonna have duplicate results.
it'll be fine. You'll see it's the same answers.
It's all
You
right. This
will
is
check
really
it
kind
out.
of loose. We don't know what we're doing over here at Quokka,
No,
anyways. You know,
but it's a work in progress.
it's a whip. I'm an artist, people.
So you have a margin for error, so you'll be good.
Oh, I do. Okay,
Yeah,
great. No
of
one
course
told me
you.
that when I
If
was
you don't,
creating.
you do now. Now
We've got a large margin. I'll tell you
oh,
that.
come on.
Maybe we got a small margin. I don't know what kind of margin we got. I'm sorry.
No. It's fine.
Okay, dímelo.
Okay, so I think it's the space. It's not about just who do you talk to. the space. And what I mean by the space is, do you feel safe talking about certain issues, right? So it's about this vulnerability. Like right now, I'm being super vulnerable with everybody here, and I know who's looking at this,
Or who will look at it in the future.
or who will look at it in the future. And you can spiral into things and say, hey, they will use it against you, or I don't know what kind of relationships you are in general, friends, family, romantic, any of those. Say, if I put this part out of myself, they will feel maybe less secure about me. They will view me in a different way. They will think, that you're less, or that you need to be treated in a certain way because you have a problem, right? Or and that's also I think it's an stigma about talking about this. That's why I'm talking about it with you today, Miriam, and with everybody here.
Thank you.
We need to be able to talk about things without it being stigma.
Yes.
And
I can't wait for my interns to see this video because I'm sorry, this is your interview.
No, go. No, it's important. It's important.
Well, they're like, they're about the survey. They're like, these questions are too personal. We're getting too deep with people. I'm like, yo, look, people, this is what Quokka is. We are pushing the barriers. We want to, people want to talk about these things. We got to blow the lid off this thing.
Yeah.
Things have got to change.
And
we need some recalibrations.
Definitely. And I couldn't agree more. And I know we're talking about right now, I mean, we're concentrating, I would say we, because you're including me right now in your space. But the United States needs healing and needs to be able to talk about things. I think that's a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel, I will say, like, I'm talking about this in front of everybody, but I don't feel safe. I am putting myself out there. Totally. Because I think there's benefit in us showing our humanity. Mm-hmm. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has the answers for anything, that's going to be the answer to solve everything. Or like we're so into social media, into these projections of our best selves and how to talk and how to move your hands. And look, I don't know. I did anthropology, so like we studied about linguistics. We studied about all these things, and you see it, and it's sad because to a point we create it. So, but we also what that means is that there's hope. We can create a space where we also feel safe to talk about things. So that's why I'm talking about it today too, is because let's push to create a safe space.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I appreciate you going past that fear. I get shocked every time someone says, yes, they'll talk about it on a live video interview. I'm like, really? Thanks. Like, because it's like, you really have to you have to step out and be like, I'm going to be unsafe.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vulnerable. Right. Mm-hmm. Take off whatever face paintings you put before you go out into the world as a warrior. I mean, everybody's fighting every day, right? So to an extent.
It's wild out here. Yeah. It's wild out here in these streets. Okay.
All right.
But we have to have fun.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Okay. What would you expect to pay for a platform that creates a more positive impact on your mental health?
This is a hard question. And it's because
This is the hard question out of all of the questions?
No, it's not. This is not the hard. This is a hard question. Let me correct. But the reason is because I think we've been, to an extent, conditioned to not pay for services if they are an application or a platform. One. What would I expect if it's going to be my mental health? If it's me personally, you know, I can pay over $10 a month today, right? Can I pay a lot more than 10? No, right? But what do people expect? It's hard. Like I can. Everybody else, I don't know. And I come
Yeah.
from such a different view because I work with platforms to where I see, hey, we need to be paying for these things.
See,
So,
Pero, I can share the results to this question for you if you like.
oh, please. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That would help.
So far, the answer to this question is, where are we at? This is a long survey, dude. Oh my God.
It's okay.
Whew.
Think about the mental.
Yeah. 6 to 10, 6 to 10, 6 to 10, 6 to 10, over 10, nothing between 1 and 5, nothing between 1 and 5, between 1 and 5, between 1 and 5, over 10, between 6 and 10, over 10, over 10, over 10, over 10, between 1 and 5, over 10, between 6 to 10, between 6 to 10, 1 and 5. I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Let me just copy this here. We're going to put these averages here for people to see. Ooh, never mind. I can't. I reached a character limit on the StreamYard.
No worries.
I'll send it to you.
Well, this is how we learn, right? We go through it and then we find out what we can and can't do, and then we gotta fix this. So
You're like, just kidding. Oh yeah, I know. Like, oh my gosh, all the time I'm like, oh my God. Anyways. Okay, when thinking about the mental health of people you know, how do you think most of them would rate their overall mental health on a scale from 0 to 10?
Oh, they'll probably put like a 9 or a 10. Yeah, let's leave it at a 9. I think people, I'm 100% there.
Which one of these do you use?
Which ones do I use, or which ones do I like to use? I'm not. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, because that's how we met. WhatsApp. I haven't used Reddit in a while, and I haven't used Snapchat in a while, but I've used it.
Okay. No TikTok.
No. I think apparently I'm too old. I don't know.
No, it's so good. I swear. Okay. On average, how many messages do you receive a day?
Oh, put the over 10.
How does receiving over 10 messages make you feel?
Like this, anxious. Everything's about work mostly, or
right.
If it's not about work, there's always there's just a lot of not a lot of stuff going on, but it's just I think that I'm conditioned to think that whenever I hear something, it's gonna be about work. So you're like, oh my God, what happened? Did something not get done? So you just go straight there.
Yeah. Do you feel like you need to respond to every message that you get?
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. Especially if they have to do about work, yeah. I'm like, and it's hard for me to say, or even like I write it down and say, hey, stop. Like, I will not answer between this time and this time. But it's hard for me to follow through with that. It's going a little bit more into this has a negative impact to my life because my wife has had to tell me like put it down, and I don't even realize, and she's right.
Totally.
Totally. Right, put it down, and what I do now is I give my cell phone to her. It's like, just take it.
Good for you.
It's like, just take it. Like we're having dinner or whatever, or we're just sitting. You have my cell phone. Like if I can't handle it right now, that's okay. You take my phone.
I'm getting a little honest, like anxiety, just even thinking about you doing that, and like putting myself in your shoes. I like saw myself at your dinner table for a minute there. Whew. Oh. Dude, these devices are wild.
Yeah, and there's so many studies about them, about what they trigger in our brains. And I don't know if you don't know if that everything's the way that they say, because there's more studies to be done. But I do feel like, I mean, they say, it creates more anxiety. Like, I do feel more anxious with technology than I did before.
So would you say you also send over 10 a day?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
That adds to my anxiety too. Yeah, it's all connected. It's I would say it's one thing altogether.
Yeah.
Because it means that, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I said it because that means that I have to answer. It's usually, what doc? Where is this document?
Right.
We need to solve this. So then you have to respond and say, this is what's going on.
Okay. Now we're going to do user testing.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm going to ask you to share your browser. If you're on Chrome, that would be great. I'm not sure if you are or not.
Yes, I am.
And you are going to navigate to this page. I'm going to send it to you in the DM.
Okay.
Quokka.substack.com/about.
Okay, you want me to share another? I'll share that. Let me put that in there. So I'm sharing the Chrome tab.
Okay.
It's just a new tab. Pepper.
There's a puppy?
Yes, and you want to see the puppy?
Yeah.
Pepper, come on. Come on.
Pepper.
Come on.
I love puppies.
Come on.
Oh my God.
That's
it's a baby.
That's all right.
It's a chunky little baby. Oop. No, we want to switch that up. How do we switch it up? No. How do I exit this and make it new person on the full screen?
Okay.
Where's the puppy?
I'll put you in that.
No.
No? We'll put it here. She'll still be visible probably. Yeah.
I don't know how to run the StreamYard properly, to be honest with you. I'm like, where's the screen?
See, I did share.
There we go. Okay, we want to make the puppy just big for just a second so we can see the puppies.
Pepper?
Hi, Pepper. Look at your cute. You actually have a pink collar that matches us. You were sleeping, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I can't. So cute. Thank you.
Yeah. Pepper, you gotta go. Oh,
so cute. Animals are the best. Like, if you're a founder, you must have a pet.
Oh, yeah.
Or access to animals.
Actually, I think we all, at least in the Whisper Company, we all have access to them. And
yeah,
2 out of 3, we have pets.
Yeah.
No. So 3 of us have pets. So 3 out of 4, we have pets. Come on, Pepper. You wanna go? No, she's just in the back now.
Okay, so you're on this page now. So cute. Now, try to sign up for a Quokka membership. Free or paid, it does not matter.
Okay, so I'll say subscribe.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. And now I'm going to say decide later, so that I don't have to put all the information out. Continue with paying.
Okay.
Continue.
Easy peasy.
If you want to help Quokka even more, share your reason for subscribing. Let's do it. Let me see if I have my Twitter.
No pressure.
No, let's do it. I think everybody should do it.
Aw, I'm so kind.
So I gotta sign into another Twitter. maybe if I copy and I put it on the other web browser. There. Gmail. Twitter. Home. Nobody can see, but I'm logging into my Twitter. And I'm putting something in there. Now. Let's see Quokka.
Thank you.
Good. So I'm writing, let's create a safe space for our mental health.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Do you want any hashtag?
Sure. Sure. We have a Twitter. We just haven't really activated it yet because we're not at that level yet.
Yeah.
You know? But we do have a Twitter. Twitter.
I put mental health, hashtag mental health, hashtag self-care. And it should be there.
Okay. Let me make sure, because I'm like really bad, like Twitter. I'm just learning it, but I follow you on Twitter, right?
I don't know.
Or you probably don't know, yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot of Daniel Machados on Twitter.
Oh yeah, mine's Daniel Eduardo because that's my second name. Is Eduardo.
Eduardo.
Look for it. I'll send you the. Anybody else wants to follow me? Go ahead. It's not. I mean, it's not gonna hurt.
Yeah, put it in the chat. We'll toss that up.
Yeah. So. There.
Yay! Everyone follow Daniel on Twitter. Let me see here. We're live with Daniel. Follow on Twitter. Okay, so now just continue to look around.
Okay.
And
subscribe. Where are we about?
Yeah, and then
go ahead.
How would you describe what Quokka is and its purpose?
So I think it's about creating a place to talk about your mental health in a way that you feel safe about it, right? And also part of it is to feeling like you're not alone. So it's creating that sense of community so that you understand these problems, these things that we all go through, or things that you think that nobody goes through that are just you. There's people that are also going through this. So that makes you also a lot more open to become vulnerable in a space and be more open about talking about some issues and getting more help.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like I put in my survey, I do many things and I've done many things, and I worked as a teacher and I worked with CPS, and there are things that you see and you work, you do and you see. And I was an activist too, an organizer. I hope, you know, I see myself still as one, but I'm not active as before. And there's things that you see, that you experience, that you hear from other people, that you see that to happen to other people, and they're very harsh to understand. in society. It's just, some cases, babies who are terminally ill. Like, what? That's just, newborns terminally ill, and you're trying to get through that. And you talk about, Quokka talks about, if you're a first responder, there's things that you see that, some people say I cope better with it, or they, it's just maybe it doesn't seep out the way that other people think. But sometimes it's good to have somebody in kind that can listen to it and say, hey, look, I also went through it. This is what I did. Or just getting it out there is something, getting a weight off your shoulders.
Totes. I agree with you. And this is bringing a lot of clarity to me. Thank you so much for all of this.
Thank you for including me in your project today. And thank you. So that hopefully, this is passed on. People sign up, and we can create a space for people to become more mentally healthy. That's part of it.
Yes.
That all of our experiences have value. That even if you think that that's not you, like, maybe it is. Maybe you should talk to someone. Maybe you should connect to someone. And now there's a space for it. So you can try it out.
Thank you. Is there anything else that I should know?
About the site, or in general, about
just anything. Any suggestions, comments, concerns?
I think about the site, and I mean, maybe this is a conversation more in later, but it's when we're setting up spaces, it's it's hard to make people feel safe. For example, like we're going through it in our application. Like, I want to make you feel as safe as possible, right? Because all your information is safe. But here's about the individual. How do I make you feel safe? And how do I reward in an aspect certain types of positive behavior in a community? So I want you to talk about issues. I want you to share these things. I want you to connect in a way that is positive for the community and yourself. So thinking about that's just a question. But thinking about it, I think like resolving that question is very complex. Especially when we're talking about any social media, any social platform, because you get everyone, you get all kinds of views, and you get people. And now this platform is about people who are seeking out help. So we're all at different parts of our lives, different levels, different things. And what does that? How to meet everybody in that space, and understand them. That what if somebody says something that needs attention right then and there, right? How do we say, yeah, okay, I'm going to send help right now. I mean, I know that I don't like to talk about such negative things, but they exist, right? Such as suicide, right? And it's a big problem right now in teens, right? And it's a big problem in our society in general. And noticing signs is so hard because they're so subtle, because people hide it very well. And so if you have a social platform, we have a platform where we're telling people this is a place for help. How do we see a sign? How do we respond? Do we respond as a community? How do we do it? And that for me is, we have to look for a solution more than it's a problem. Let's look for a solution. How do we respond?
Oh my God, I just am getting so much inspiration from our conversation, Daniel. I just want you to know, like, shit's just about to pop off.
That's awesome. I'm glad.
Oh my God!
So I think the work that
Now I just need to figure out, like,
everybody's
when this
doing is,
happens, I'm like, because my brain is like, well, what if we did this? But
yeah.
then I'm like, because I'm not tech savvy, so I'm just like, I quickly
Well,
scan my roster and I'm like, of solutions that I know exist. And then I'm like, okay, I got to think real quick. And then I'm ask you, is there a solution that can live stream? Twitch is this. Twitch, I can have my computer live streaming
yeah.
the whole day, 24/7. See?
Yes, you could. There's a bunch of platforms that you could do it with. There's different ways that you could do it too.
Really?
Yeah, and you could even put it into the platform. And so,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean,
I
if you
can
want to
put
talk
it into
about
what?
the technical things, we could talk about some technical things later, or I could bring in the team because I mean, Benito, he's a former professor. He loves solving problems. Okay, so if we want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
Dude, this is the problem with startups though, because then I get super excited and I'm working in this boot camp right now and it's like, follow these steps.
Oh yeah.
And I'm over here like, let's pivot.
Oh, that's the number one issue. It's like, sticking to the plan.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to stick the plan through. We're going to put this in as a task in Asana. And then later, in about 6 weeks, we're going to implement this. Boom. Woo!
That sounds great.
Oh my God. Yeah! Woo! I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Okay. I would assume that you have already opted into our platform launch, so I'm going to go ahead and submit this survey. And again, I just want to thank you. And is there anything that I can do in return to support your work?
There's many things that you could do. So there's some where I am always doing constant customer discovery to understand better our client base. So we're looking for clients that are in lawyers, maybe criminal law, maybe corporate law. We're looking into some immigration law, but it seems like criminal are the most because they deal with VIPs a lot. They could deal with VIPs. So anybody who deals with VIPs, it could be people in NBA or politicians, right?
Shady. No, I'm just kidding.
So that's the thing. Is like we want to go away from that, right? We don't want to be a platform for anything.
Gotcha.
Right? What we want to do is this is just somebody that anybody should have access to this, but we're looking for our clients. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just an irrelevant question.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering, do you feel like we should have access to all politicians' like cell phone records?
So I think we should have access to whatever their behavior is in terms of money.
Okay.
That's
like what there's like access to their Visa and like Amex statements and stuff.
I want to see what they're doing. I want to see where they're investing money. I want to see where they're getting it from. I want to see where it's being invested. I want to have complete transparency.
Nice.
Because how
do I do that? How do I like make mine? Like I'll do that. I'll do that today. I'll send you like screenshots of my Robinhood account. Like you can see exactly where I'm investing.
That's the thing. It's like what I want to see is not just what you're investing, but the connections between it. I want a platform where we can see your connection to people through money.
Yes, I feel that too. Like a LinkedIn plus hedge fund.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I've wanted to know that too on several occasions. Like, for example, this last year when my school district in my county, not even have kids, went with a specific platform, You should have seen the stock on this thing was just riding this little wave, and I'm like, who is investing in this?
Exactly.
I feel you. That needs to be done. I'm going to start putting that out there in my little financial communities and see if maybe someone has an MVP like that out, or whether, because what could happen is once we have the technology built, then we present legislation.
That's right.
If you want to run, you go transparent with your finances.
Right. That's right.
Point blank, period.
I think there's some ways to do it with how distributed ledgers work, to where we can keep it from being hacked as well. So it would be very safe for us to do. Anyway,
I don't see any problems with any security there in any way. Like from a tech perspective, and my knowledge is very limited. Like all we're going to be doing is scraping things that already exist and is already out there.
Oh yeah.
Like what's your LinkedIn? Beyond LinkedIn, like who did you go to school with these people? Are y'all in the same networking groups? Like boom, boom. We could make those connections real quick. Just give me an AI that knows what's up.
Public projects, funding for those projects, contractors for them. I want to know all about it.
You know what's crazy is a lot of people in politics, I don't think that they understand how technologically possible this is. So they might not even be like hiding in plain sight or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I have definitely a call that's happening right now. I'm sure that you do too.
Yeah, I actually do too. But the other thing is, I'm looking for investors. If you have anybody, but you're probably looking for two. So, but I'm looking for some, and I really, if you have anybody that's interested, please, send them our way, so that we can keep on with our projects.
Okay, cool. Let's definitely do that. Are you doing pitch competitions right now?
So right now we've been doing a lot with Capital Factory. So it's not necessarily a pitch competition, but we're pitching to a lot of potentials.
Have you looked at this organization called Fund Board? Have you raised before? What stage are you in?
So I would describe as we're still in Cedar, but we're now looking for, so we have some seed money, very small amounts, friends and family. And now we're looking for some bigger investment.
Check this out. They're in beta, which is awesome. So right now they'll give you a free list. Super easy. You just fill out their form. And then they send you like 10 investors that they're like, these are the people that you should be talking to. And I assume it's based on like, these investors are currently like giving money away, are interested in something that you're building, like maybe located in your area, like blah, blah, blah. There's a ton of money in Miami right now. So, I'm sure that you might be able to get some funding from people down here in Miami if you ever want to come down.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I have many reasons to go to Miami. So
yeah,
that'll be awesome if I can go there and maybe set up a couple meetings. And then I know you're
Do you have, and we're like, but okay, so what would be helpful would be to know like who's your like investor profile. Like, so if I meet an investor, then I can be like, okay, do you check these boxes? And then I know to connect Daniel with investor.
So if they know about fintech, right? Financial sector, law, right? Law tech, like technology in the law sector, or in the clinical as well. And they're looking for secure communications solutions. They are a great fit. If there are people who have been hacked in any way, right, they're probably going to be a very good fit because they understand the issue already.
Yeah.
So that's one way of looking at it. There's also people in the banking industry. That's why I say fintech, because emails right now are not as safe as our application. So if you get information through our application, it will be safer than an email. So anything that has to do with wiring money, getting a text that tells you this is your code for whichever, it's going to be a lot safer through our application, because even if a hacker gets into your phone, they can't see the text because it's encrypted inside of the application itself. So we call it, in situ encryption, which is different than other applications, which, if anybody gets your phone, they'll be able to see everything if they have the code to your phone. For this, it's not safe.
Yeah. That actually just made me realize something very important. Okay. Whoops. Darn it. Okay. Interesting.
And if you have anybody that I can interview as well, if they, maybe they're not potential customers, but they are willing to talk to me about the application that are, in those spheres, that's also great, because that gives me all the insight of the world.
Like a customer discovery tool.
That's right.
Are you on Entra already?
Entra?
Entra?
On track? Sorry.
Entra?
No. Entra?
Okay.
Can you tell me what that is?
Yeah. Join Entra, like entrepreneur.
Okay.
.com. Joinentra.com. There's a guy there that's building, his name's Ethan. He's building customerdiscovery.co, which I think could be really cool. You know what else is really cool that I just joined? Pioneer. Have you heard of Pioneer.app?
No, there's so many things.
Pioneer.app is literally a community of people that we hold ourselves accountable. It's all online. And then but it's also really good for like user discovery, because every week they're sending your app out to like 50,000 people.
Wow, that's great.
Maybe not 50,000. I'm dramatic. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're sending it out.
That's already good work.
Yeah, I'm using it to hold myself accountable, but I know people are using it as like a customer acquisition tool, because the majority of people that products, like things I look at, they're like selling to me, and I'm like, oh, I thought we were like giving each other feedback, but okay, cool. Like, I'll check out your app,
Yeah.
So
that's a great. Is it paid or?
It's freezy, man. I'm bootstrapping. This stuff is all free.
Wow. Okay. So thank you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Already. So, and let's talk later with whatever things that you need. Let's see how we can support each other too.
Yeah, sounds good. Anytime you want to chat, just let me know. I'm around.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Miriam, I'll let you go so you can do your stuff, and I'll go do my stuff too.
Okay, thanks.
And thanks everybody.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.